The prince wasn't too disappointed?
She didn't express her gratitude, at any rate.
With you, she must not be used to failure. The others were pretty surprised, in fact.
Were they?
Some of them think you're not as motivated as you used to be. They think you're tired. They're wrong, aren't they?
I'm not done yet. This body has many long years ahead of it.
Then you'll have to prove to them. Those who are disappointed today will be your enemies tomorrow.
Let them talk.
You didn't tell me what was in those files you gave the prince.
I don't see how that's any of your business.
To make up your own mind about something, the best way is to go to the source. And apparently, Jason Moore is well informed.
I see. You'll have to be patient, Fang.
Do you think that this setback will be an issue for our plans to...
A favor from the prince wouldn't have hurt. But it's not the be-all, end-all in determining your fate. How do you feel about it?
Honestly, I just want to get it over with. Like when you're going into finals.
Even if there's no going back?
It's a little late for that, isn't it?
It is.
Your child, Beryl Underwood, did he have any second thoughts?
I don't want to discuss it.
He's your only child, so I wondered how it went. Well, could you enlighten me?
Beryl is very different from you. He always has been. I was blind. It won't happen again. Beryl would have begged me to get what he wanted. Your patience reassures me. I'm making the right choice with you.
You seem to really have a problem with him.
Yes, and that's why you must stay away from him.
This separation between you, what caused it?
Don't dig too far into it. You know this is something I don't discuss.
That's too bad.
You've already mentioned Beryl, and I told you not to do it again. Your interest in him is growing, and knowing him, he'll try to take advantage of that. Unless he already has.
You already warned me about him once. Beryl didn't try anything.
He hasn't yet. Now, if you'll excuse me, Fang, I'm going to have a word with him.
Oh? To Beryl? Why?
I trust you, but I don't trust him. I asked you not to go near him. Apparently, I didn't make myself clear enough.
I thought the prince was gonna call for you any minute now.
I'm sure I'll have enough time to clear the air with him first. Once and for all. While you're waiting, stay put.
As you wish.
Just one more, and then you can go rest.
All right. Thanks, Ms. Ortiz. Want a bite? Want a bite?
My blood is excellent. My blood is excellent.
I'm sorry, but I need to take a break.
Meet me there.
Of course.
Any news here?
Everyone is stressed out. I've never seen anything like it. They're all talking in hushed voices. They barely dare to look at each other.
People and their moods. I'm not interested in that.
I saw them take one of Jason Moore's bodyguards below. To question him, I imagine. That could be of interest to you. Say, how are things with the girl?
Excuse me.
It's Zhu Feng, right?
She's not a girl.
Things going okay?
The interest certain people have taken in her has given me cause for concern.
Maybe that's something you should talk about with the person in question. Do you think you'll embrace her soon?
As soon as possible, once the prince gives me permission.
You met Fang at MIT, didn't you?
I first discovered her by reading one of her articles.
What does she write?
She studies the blue economy.
To each his own. I don't even know what that means.
It's about hope. A hope of making up for centuries of exploitation.
Since when are you concerned about that?
Since I saw Beryl poison our kind.
Blood or money? I've never embraced anyone.
How come?
The story of my life, and my unlife. I have no progeny, mortal or otherwise.
By choice?
Yes, and no. When things weren't so strict, I could have asked, but I didn't have anyone in mind. Not like you and Fang. Now it's too late, as I've clearly been made to understand.
Maybe you'll get another chance.
Oh, you mean that after the SI's done with us, our overpopulation problem will be solved?
I didn't mean it like that.
But still. Be that as it may, I hope the prince will allow you to do it.
I don't know.
I hope last night isn't weighing on you too heavily.
I'm all right.
The prince won't base her decision on just that. You've already proven your worth, Mr. Bazori.
We'll see about that. I'd better be going.
See you.
A message from Caius. Need you downstairs. Urgent issue. Bad timing. I'm going to have to choose. Help Caius or speak with Beryl.
We're waiting for Mr. Leto's signal. Until then, if you have any questions, save them. Got it?
No problem.
Great. Weren't you the one who was doing surveillance on the Roxbury bunch? Have you talked to Mr. Leto yet?
I want... Oh, there you are. Follow me, please. We'll speak in private.
You wanted to see me?
Happy to see you, Caleb. We don't usually let anybody down here, but I can bend the rules for you.
To what do I owe this honor?
I need you. Something's come up. On the night of the attack, someone sent a message to an unauthorized recipient.
Is that a problem?
Could be a major one. Not a lot of people can do that, you know.
You wouldn't be trying to cover up a mistake, would you?
What? Are you crazy? Why would I tell you about it if I was involved in it?
Maybe you're afraid that we'll find out on our own.
If I wanted to do that, you'd have no way of knowing it.
Is that supposed to reassure me?
It's supposed to prove my sincerity. I get the feeling that it's all connected. It's too huge to be a coincidence.
Do you suspect anyone in particular?
Jara Drory.
What you're telling me is extremely serious. I hope you have proof.
If I did, do you think I'd be asking for your help? But I wouldn't accuse her unless I had serious doubts. Think it through carefully. For starters, she's one of the few who knows how the system works.
She'd be able to cover her tracks, wouldn't she?
Maybe. But maybe she made a mistake.
I don't know. Jara has most likely been destroyed by now.
Do you have any evidence supporting what you're suggesting? Anyways, nothing concrete. Just a hunch, if you want to call it that. In my place, under the current circumstances, I can't really go poking my nose in her business.
And I can?
Nobody will bother you. I'm not asking for much. Just take a look in Jara's room to see if you can find anything that ties her to any of this. And if you could do it quickly.
Why?
Because I'm about to erase a ton of data. It's the Code Red protocol. And since Jara vanished, the Prince wants her personal data to disappear along with her. That doesn't give us much time. You in?
I could maybe go and take a look around.
Great. I found a key to her room. Take it.
Thanks.
It's our last chance to recover the data from Jara Drory's computer before everything disappears for good. Just insert this thumb drive and it will download everything I need. If she betrayed us, I'll know.
Fine. I'll go see what I can find.
Thanks. One last thing.
Uh-huh.
If you could keep this just between you and me.
Fine.
And don't come back to see me here. It's supposed to be sealed. It'll look suspicious. I'll send in an engineer after you. Give him the drive when you're done, but don't tell him anything. We have to keep this between us.
As you wish.
Security has been increased to the maximum. I've never seen anything like it.
Miss Drory's disappearance isn't making things any easier.
There's no point in it.
prince didn't ask you for your opinion.
Hazel can't just ignore me and then call me in like this. Now get out of here before I make your blood boil.
Mr. Siaka, you're taking a big risk.
Goodbye.
Asshole.
Now she's sending you.
Run into some trouble with the prince?
That's a question to ask Hazel. She's the one who doesn't know what she wants.
You seem unusually tense. Are you sure she's the problem?
Obviously, the whole situation is a nightmare, but Hazel's not helping. She's obviously overwhelmed, and I'm not the only one who thinks so. I don't know how you still put up with her.
You owe your place in the Primogen to her.
What, you think I don't know that? I've always done my best to keep her from screwing things up. But when she reached out to Hartford...
Is there a problem with Hartford?
I told Hazel we can't trust them.
Do you have any evidence to support what you're suggesting?
She doesn't know Deneb the way I do. She wouldn't listen to my warnings.
Her plan was bold.
Risky is a better adjective. After what happened last night, I'm not sure you realize just how deep the shit we are in goes.
And I suppose you have the solution?
Maybe. Not that I'm happy about it. There's interesting stuff going on in other places. Boston's not the center of the universe.
We don't know who can be trusted. This is no time to leave. If the prince has kept you in the dark, she must have had a good reason for it. Just look at what happened.
Open your eyes, Caleb! The Boston Camarilla is crumbling before our eyes! What are the odds we survive?
Hazel has things under control. We'll get through this.
I have a hard time believing that. We have to prepare for the worst.
This kind of talk is beneath you.
You know what it's like to feel called to be elsewhere.
That has nothing to do with this. Salem isn't elsewhere. You won't be any safer there.
It's just a starting point. We thaumaturgs will find a way to deal with it.
I see that you've planned for everything.
I've already lost too much time. You shouldn't waste your time either.
If you leave, Hazel will catch up with you.
What do you mean?
You know, she doesn't like people who have been this loyal, especially now.
Hazel doesn't need new enemies. She should be wary.
Be careful.
Goodbye, Caleb.
Let's see if Caius was right. has always been wary of new technology. That should take less than a minute. I hope Caius will be able to use what's on this thumb drive.
Jara always was old-fashioned. Whatever's in this box must be important.
Jara was conducting her own investigation. There is no way Caius would be expecting that.
It appears Caius was wrong. He and Jara may have been looking for the same individual.
I think that's everything. Now it's Caius's turn.
Hello, Mr. Bazori. Mr. Leto asked me to wait until you were done. He also told me you'd have something for me.
Here it is. Give it to him, and him alone.
And don't ask any questions. I get it. Are you done here?
You may proceed.
Thanks.
I hope Caius knows what he's doing.
Hazel is probably ready to see me now. I won't make her wait.
Sorry, Mr. Bazori. Miss Drory's quarters are off limits.
What's going on here?
Mr. Leto's orders. We've got to clean up.
The prince is ready to see you now.
Just a second. I'll be right back.
I've seen princes come and go. In the end, it always comes down to a struggle for power between the prince and their primogen. Hazel is strong, but will she last much longer?
A peace agreement that put an end to a bloody revolt. Ancilla against neonates. Camarilla against anarchs. A copy of a treatise on metal transfusion. Dijon gave it to Hazel when they first started working together. The First Inquisition. The first time our supremacy was challenged. Where is Feng?
Is there a problem, Mr. Bizori?
Feng, did you see her leave?
No. Sorry, I had to step out for a few minutes. When I got back, she was gone.
I asked her to wait for me.
I don't like it.
There's no point in hanging around here bothering me. It's gonna take me a while.
Very well, Mr. Sheridan. Please excuse me. I've been at this for hours.
I can't wait to be done with this.
I'm sorry, I really don't have time right now.
What do we do if the hunters show up?
Caleb, you don't come here often. Sorry, things are a little hectic here. As you can see.
What's going on?
Code Red. We're destroying all of our files. Following protocol.
You're destroying all our files?
No, not everything. Obviously. Some information needs to be saved. The rest will be a treasure trove for anyone who wants to harm us. That's what's got to disappear. It's a huge undertaking. And of course, Hazel's putting major pressure on me. I think she holds me responsible for what happened with Journey. That little bitch got me in trouble.
It's her job. She's trying to keep us from going down with the ship, no matter the cost.
I agree. And you know how much I love Hazel. But it's starting to get hard to manage. My efficiency might be the stuff of legend. But even I make mistakes. How about you? Is everything all right?
After last night, who could say that?
I mean, you know, your condition.
My condition?
You know, you're the eldest among us now.
Are you worried about me, or the void I'll leave behind?
You're an essential asset for the Camarilla. You disappearing now would be one of the worst possible things that can happen to us.
It's true that reliability is a virtue in decline.
Don't leave us. That's all. For Hazel's sake.
I've got my own reasons to stay.
I was wondering, what is it like? Do you hear voices? Does it come at you all at once?
It's more like a feeling. A light one at first. Then it grows, and grows, until it becomes unbearable.
It doesn't look so unbearable for you.
I'm hanging on, but you shouldn't worry about it. You're still very young.
Listen to us. Talking about growing old, like mortals do.
What's wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's just the Second Inquisition attack. You're the only person here who doesn't seem fazed by it. London seems so far away. Now they're here. They're destroying the people we know. I really need to get back to work.
Good luck.
The prince is ready to see you now.
Great.
Caleb.
My prince.
We were expecting you.
How may I be of service to you this time?
One thing at a time. The situation has changed. The money is gone. The accounts have been emptied.
What? That's impossible.
Only Jason Moore could have transferred the money. The situation is dire.
Moore would never have done it on his own. He would never have dared.
I agree. It's much too bold a move for him, and that's what concerns me the most. Someone used him to attack us. Someone who was extremely well prepared.
Our enemies are everywhere. They're not just kindred.
No, the kind have no knowledge of our business. It's someone with diverging interests from our own. Someone on the inside.
If there's a traitor among us, I'll have their head.
One thing at a time. I'll take care of the traitor, personally. Failure is a luxury we will soon be unable to afford. If you have nothing more to say, we can move on to the reason I sent for you.
What did you think about Richard Dunham's file?
Money that should be going to me seems to go missing whenever he touches it. Richard is far too important to me. I can't afford to upset him now. But if his research doesn't pay off soon, I won't hesitate to show him my disappointment.
Did you read Jara Drory's file?
I wish I'd never seen it.
There's too much I despise in it.
She never mentioned she was monitoring the Primogen's finances. Or this, Catapotis. What on earth is it?
I've got no idea.
It doesn't add up. It seemed important to her.
But she's not here to shed any light on it.
I'm listening.
I've asked for your presence here because I have a new mission for you. Delsin was able to track down the men who attacked us.
It wasn't easy, but it was impossible for them to disappear without leaving a trace after what they did yesterday.
Where are they hiding?
Long Island.
Yes, of course. An abandoned facility just off the coast. An old fort. It's the ideal place for a secret base.
And certainly much more. Who knows what they're up to out there?
How is it we didn't notice a thing?
They have abundant resources, and we're short on eyes.
It doesn't matter. We'll find the people responsible for the situation later. Our most pressing issue is preventing them from striking us again.
How?
You're going to go there and kill their leader.
Sending me there. That seems to be a rather bold choice.
I don't see anyone better for the job.
Infiltration isn't really my specialty.
You'll be dealing with Kine. You'll be a fox in a henhouse. I'm not worried about you. And Delsin knows how to get you in.
Oh, that changes everything.
They evacuated the bodies from the site of the party, which is how we were able to pick up their trail.
There's a small, nondescript warehouse at Jeffrey's Point. As far as we can tell, their transfers from Boston to Long Island are made by boat. To avoid drawing attention to themselves, they've chosen to employ only small craft. There are bodies packed in the warehouse waiting to be shipped over. Do you get the picture?
You want me to disguise myself as a body to be evacuated?
Exactly. All you have to do is stop simulating your vital functions for a few hours.
It's risky.
It's risky, but it's now or never. We might never get another opportunity. We have to try.
The last transfer is probably going to take place tonight. After that, There's no way of knowing when we'll get another chance.
I need to know the details.
Let us worry about getting you into the warehouse. We've made all the preparations. You won't have to worry about a thing until you get to Long Island.
We know where they are. Why go through their warehouse?
Charging into Long Island blind would be far too risky.
And with a traitor in our midst, I'd rather keep this to a small circle of trusted people, to avoid any other unpleasant surprises.
And after that?
Once you're on the island, you'll be in uncharted territory. You'll be on your own.
Who is my target?
Walter Stanford.
He's the head of the Boston Task Force. He's part of what they call the Society of Leopold.
Someone else will take his place.
No need for you to worry about that for the time being. Your mission is to eliminate Stanford, and that's all.
What do we know about this Stanford?
Not much. They're very careful. He was sent from the Vatican, and he brought other fanatics with him. If he's here, it means that Rome has faith in him, and that can't be good for us.
He's got to be taken out.
What's the Vatican getting out of all this?
Your guess is as good as mine. But it seems that the kind are trying to get a better understanding of us in order to hunt us more effectively. These priests have been our enemies for ages. They have knowledge.
Putting an end to them is crucial. We must keep our enemies from unifying their strength.
I don't wish to be the bearer of ill tidings, but what if I fail? Do you have a backup plan?
Caleb, you won't fail. You're our only hope. We place all our trust in you to complete this essential mission.
There's no room for error, Bazori.
Aren't you worried someone will tip off the SI? There's still a traitor among us.
The traitors, my department. You need to strike quickly, and don't let anyone know of your plans. We can't take the slightest risk.
All right. I've heard enough.
Very well. Then you should get going. We've already lost enough time.
Very well. My prince,